So this lesson, this part of the vision of Saint John the Divine, that's as we move towards the climax of the revelation itself, and the showing of John the Divine of the heavenly Jerusalem. And I think one of the things that a key takeaway from this description of all the jewels, and it's easy to get lost and all that. There are gates, there are three gates on each side, and this four square and all that stuff. But there are two key details that really, I think, point to the fact that Christmas, if properly meditated upon, if properly celebrated, Christmas is also a celebration of our fundamental spiritual connection to the Jewish people, to the people of Israel, to whom we, as Gentiles, as followers of Jesus, are grafted into an olive tree. And the reason I say this is that the heavenly Jerusalem, the place of new creation where God's people will dwell with him forever, the 12 gates have the name of each of the 12 gates has a name of the tribe of Israel around it. So, in other words, there is no way into the heavenly Jerusalem except through Israel. You can't get in except through Israel. And that the foundations of the wall, in a sense, the foundations of the mighty on the mighty boundaries of this heavenly city, that which creates the city, and kind of walls are kind of help protect the city from that which is not the city, are built upon the witness of the apostles. You have those 12 foundation stones of the apostolic witness. In other words, the proclamation of Jesus. So, in a sense, Jesus is the foundation. He is the foundation stone. The hymn says, "In Christ is made the sure foundation." And but the gates are through Israel, and it is Jesus's Jewishness, that he is born of a Jewish mother in a Jewish town, that this is a fundamental and essential part of the story. And it is through that gate that we enter. It is through the gate of Israel's story, not some other story. You can't take Jesus's story and put it on top of a story like the Roman story, or the Qin Dynasty story, or the American story. The only story that Jesus connects to is the story of Israel. That is the gate through which we enter into the glorious story of God's love for his people. And all those jewels that are, it has all the onyx and the amethyst and the jasper and the chrysolite and all that. All these jewels, that's a repetition of the jewels that go into the making of the ephod, the priestly ephod of Aaron. And so, in a sense, that it's the people of God are a priestly people, in a sense, ushered into the Holy of Holies, into God's own presence. So again, that our following Jesus is something that continues in a fundamental way the entry into God's presence that Israel founded for us. And so we walk behind Aaron and the sons of Levi and all those who have entered into the Holy of Holies, leading up to Zechariah, who heard of the birth of his son John the Baptist, ultimately lifting up all the priestly witness of Israel. So this is part of the Christmas story too. And it really is the beginning and of the Christmas story through which we enter into the glorious ending of the empty Easter tomb. A reading from the Revelation to St. John the Divine. Then one of the seven angels, who had the seven bowls full of the seven last plagues, came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the bride, the wife of the Lamb." And in the Spirit he carried me away to a great high mountain, and showed me the holy city Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God. It has the glory of God, and a radiance like a very rare jewel, like jasper, clear as crystal. It has a great high wall with 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and on the gates are inscribed the names of the 12 tribes of the Israelites. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, On the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city has 12 foundations, and on them are the 12 names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. The angel who talked to me had a measuring rod of gold to measure the city and its gates and walls. The city lies 4 square, its length the same as its width. And he measured the city with his rod 1,500 miles. Its length and width and height are equal. He also measured its wall, 144 cubits by human measurement, which the angel was using. The wall is built of jasper, while the city is pure gold, clear as glass. The foundations of the wall of the city are adorned with every jewel. The first was jasper, the second sapphire, the third agate, the fourth emerald, the fifth onyx, the sixth carnelian, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz, the 10th chrysoprase, the 11th jacinth, the 12th amethyst. And the 12 gates are 12 pearls. Each of the gates is a single pearl, and the street of the city is pure gold, transparent as glass. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.